for Gorilla Sevens Kabale, you stand a chance to win Rugby Africa Cup tickets.
Ooh,
Yes.
nice.
Yeah, so that you don't have to complain
And many people
about
have been
what's free, what's
complaining
not.
about
They are
Spend your 30K and you get
Yeah.
refunded.
Yeah, so please come to Kabale, Gorilla Sevens, and you stand a chance to win the Rugby Africa
Yes,
Cup
the raffle draw.
tickets. There will be draws there. And then, of course, the winners
Boat
for
cruise.
men and women. Like last time, it's a standard. The winner gets a boat cruise over Bunyonyi Safaris. There will be a prize money that will be mentioned. Yet.
And you guys are looking good in this t-shirt. Of course, as usual, I failed to get my size. When you talk about this, they feel really nice.
It's
They
nice.
feel really nice. The
Smart.
material is good.
Yeah.
Talk about these ones.
And who can they contact for
And
match?
who can for merchandise, because
It's good to also attend
The
in
t-shirts
tournament
are
match.
actually already out there. The sports shops, Chadondo is already selling
Okay.
these t-shirts, and we have also some of the people trying to have them available in the former, should I call it former legends? or-
excuse me.
I'm
excuse
just-
me. Guys,
Kampala, just call it
just call
Kampala.
Kampala.
Okay, Kampala. yes. And then also, for those who want special delivery, there's a gentleman called Pearson Makoma, who is on ground trying to make sure everyone
Police
gets their
man, so that
size.
You have
Then
this number.
next
Can you
When he's
can
doing
you
the
read
match
his number
commissar.
maybe?
You'll get his size, your size probably.
I think I have
Yes,
his
so then
number.
like smiling when he's working for rugby. He thinks he can
Okay,
be.
so
He's a small
this is
man
the
but wants
number.
to beat us.
Pearson Makoma,
Pearson, you can reach him on 773 064 296. I'll repeat the number 773 064 296 to get this beautiful match. And just
different
also,
colors, by the way. It's not only white.
They are in different
Of
colors,
grey,
and also we are
green.
making special editions for institutions, teams, where you want a Gorilla Sevens t-shirt
Plus your
with
logo.
your logo embroidered on.
you
Cops.
can customize.
Yeah, you can customize them.
Ah,
That order is
interesting.
also available. He can pick them.
Interesting.
I'll
And just
put
a
cops
reminder-
when my team decides
and-
to play.
And just a reminder that we are at the Gardens, Nigeria, home of good vibes, good environment. This weekend in particular, we will be having the East African Meat Carnival with a good lineup of DJs. And for the special edition, we'll be remembering the recently deceased DJ Bush Baby. Hello, welcome to the Fat Cats podcast here at the Gardens, Nigeria. It's been a while, I know. We haven't recorded in a long time a podcast talking about all issues rugby. But we are back like we never left. My name is Bruno Akampa. I'm a Fat Cat with my fellow Fat Cats, Caesar Ankunda. And with me are two gentlemen who are familiar faces in rugby, of course. One maybe as a player, and you've seen him as a coach as well. And then the other one you've seen maybe as a match commissar and those guys who arrange the pitch and all.
And eat union money, right?
I didn't want to say that, but I'll let them introduce themselves and in what capacities. Then we'll start from there. I'll start with Jude on my left.
Thank you, Fat Cats and Bruno. I'm Jude Rwakayanga. I'm the coordinator for Gorilla Sevens Kabale. Yes, I've been around for a while, a coach, a player, and a rugby administrator. Thanks for hosting us.
Okay.
Good evening, podcast. Mpora Derrick is my name. I'm a match commissioner, World Rugby certified. I've also existed as a player, both for Rams and Impis. Actually, Caesar is one of my former chairpersons. And we're glad to be here. I'm also the chairperson of the Gorilla Sevens organizing committee.
Okay, welcome, gentlemen. And today we'll talk rugby as usual, but specifically the Gorilla Sevens. I don't know if we all happen to be knowing one language where the Gorilla Sevens will be talking, but we won't speak Ruchiga. The Gorilla Sevens will be held in Kabale, that's southwestern Uganda. But I'll let the organizers speak for themselves. And I'll start with you, Chairperson Mpora. But you know, we have another name for you.
Aziz.
Aziz.
Yes.
Aziz.
Why the Aziz name?
It's a long story, my friend. But it dates way back from high school. And I happened to meet the same guys at campus. So from campus, it translated to rugby because it's the same circles. And trust me, the more you fight the name, the more it appears and reappears. So I let it be.
I understand. It was a common thing when we were growing up in Kabale. We actually had many guys who had, I don't know, I think some, okay, we have many guys from across. I think many guys had, they first had Muslim names then because I have a cliff who is also Shafiq.
You know, Bachiga, there are not many Bachiga Muslim people, you know?
Yeah. I think some had switched to the religion back and forth.
So when the religion came to the district, it swept most youth by storm, and some got stuck there. Others were baptized, like myself, because probably I used to behave like a pure Muslim. So they wanted me to actually stay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Aziz, let's start right away. I want you to shed some light for the viewer. What are Gorilla Sevens? Under what brand are they? And which edition is this?
Okay. Gorilla Sevens is I would say we've dubbed it as Gorilla Sevens only for this season because the original name is Chigezi High Altitude Rugby Sevens.
Okay.
And the reason why it is Chigezi High Altitude Rugby Sevens is because it is a sevens circuit played in a different kind of environment. What do I mean? The area, number one, where the rugby is going to be played is a high altitude area above 2,000 meters above the sea level.
Okay.
So it makes it a little bit different in terms of athletes' performances because you know very well that when you perform at a high altitude area, the oxygen levels drop. So you are in an oxygen deficit where you operate. The operating environment is quite different from the normal. And we've also witnessed that most of the athletes that want to really improve in terms of performance actually go and look for high altitude areas to enhance their performance. Reason being is that when you stay and work in these areas, the red blood cells. Now this is physiology. The red blood cells tend to increase because the body has to get more carriers to carry more oxygen for your performance.
We've actually seen it. There's a time our national team went to Captura, the
Exactly.
altitude training.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
now
we
are playing from the high altitude.
You're playing from the high altitude. We want to know how do you perform. You realize that we will have probably lesser tries. Yeah, in this particular event, we will have teams dropping tired easier than the other teams who have not been exposed to such environments. So it's quite different. And the region itself, Chigezi.
Yeah.
So we are targeting so many things. We are looking at sports tourism. We're trying to see how do we incorporate the game in regards to the region, in relation to the tourism.
Because I also understand, because I'm from Kabale,
Okay.
you are now holding rugby in a district that borders close to 2 countries.
Exactly.
And also
Three,
near
actually.
3 actually, because
Yes.
Burundi, it's very easy to cross.
Yes.
Because they
Yes.
can enter through Rwanda, Akanyaru border.
Yes.
So you have 4 hours maybe to reach Kigali,
Exactly.
and maybe 2 hours to reach Kabale. Yeah.
And even Congo through Kisoro.
Yeah.
Because from Kisoro to Kabale is not a long distance, just because the terrain is the one that delays the travel. But it's a short distance.
I'll proceed to Jude. Jude,
Yes.
how is Chigezi high altitude sevens related to RAMS? Is it a circuit organized under RAMS the way we see maybe Rujumba sevens under Pirates, Wakiso under Pirates, Wakiso sevens under Pirates?
Kampala 7
Then
actually.
Kampala,
Yeah.
Kampala
Wakiso.
International Sevens.
Exactly.
Kampala International Sevens is not under Pirates; it's under
It's
KPA.
KPA.
And then also maybe Chitaka Tens under Cobs. Is the Chigezi High Altitude Sevens brand under Ramzo?
Yes, it is. In 2017, when Rams was growing and seeing how different could we grow the game better in Uganda, we looked at the uniqueness of Uganda, and we looked at 2 areas that stand out with the nature. One was Kapchora, which stands at 1.8 meters above sea level, and then Kabale, which stands at 2,000 above sea level. So we embarked on a project to develop rugby in the Chigezi region. So among them was to start training to give a chance to a boy and a girl born in Chigezi region to be able to raise their talent from grassroots to a global stage. And that's how we came to have the first tournament of Chigezi Altitude Rugby in 2018. And the project was to see that we were able to establish both a men and women team in the region, have schools represent at national and East Africa level in the region. And I think as of now, we had the first edition, second edition, 2019. By 2019, we gave birth to the first male team, which is Chigezi Silverbacks. Yeah, and then COVID hit. But out of COVID, we came back 2021 with a national rugby sevens circuit, the Kabale sevens.
Which I hope we get another, because that was
It was actually dubbed Chigezi Sevens.
Yeah,
too
rug-
good.
Yeah,
That
rugby
circuit
in
was
Kabale
nice.
is
People
always
enjoyed in
hilarious.
lockdown.
Yeah, it's always hilarious, and I never expect anything
Because
short of
Pirates cheated in the
Yeah.
final, but
So-
No.
Do you want us to go down that line?
no.
Okay.
Come
that.
back.
Caesar. Yeah, so
Chigezi
since then, rugby has grown in the region. 2022, we got a women team, the Chigezi Queens. So all this is an affiliation to Rams Rugby Union Football Club, which is spreading the game to the grassroots, but raising with our natural advantage, our natural heritage. And the event has been evolving from a regional event to a national event in 2021 and starting to be an international event from 2023, where we started to have teams from Rwanda, Congo, and now we have Southern Sudan and Burundi in. Yeah, so that's and this year we come with the theme of Gorilla Sevens because of the uniqueness of the world heritage in the whole world. You know that the home of gorillas is Chigezi, and this is what we are representing as Gorilla Sevens Kabale, to bring you a blend of sport in rugby, a unique fun experience at a different high altitude, the tourism experience with the unique excursions, the fun experience. So that's where we'll be.
It's a nice concept, and it's a trend in the world that we are now treating sports as a
Tourism
no, not even tourism, as a business, and
Sure.
you can mix it in within other sectors. I mean, we just had Kampala International Sevens that had a touch of climate change. Now we have these with a touch of tourism and
And
maybe
climate sustainability as
and
well.
sustainability. I mean,
Actually, Bruno, I just wanted to add on to what my brother just talked about. If you realize when you talk about sports tourism, the impact is way beyond actually sports. We're talking about the economic development of the area. We're talking about the community impact. What have you left to the community? Because the first time we introduced rugby, trust me, in Chigezi, the boys disappeared with the ball. So
Why?
I was
It was a new thing.
yes, as
Yeah.
I was talking to Jude, after you've made all those rounds of schools and all that, and then you're trying to collect your resources, then I told him, man, we don't have any balls. He told me it is okay. Said, yeah, we do not have. So for the next school, we have no equipment. Said, yes, that ball has disappeared somewhere in the community. They will be using it to play, and that's how the game will spread.
that's how it grows.
Yes, and trust me, from that day, the balls, we don't ask for accountability because we know, except for the few people who want to keep them as souvenirs in their rooms, the actual impact of those balls to the community is for them to actually use the ball. Then the other issue is about the destination promotion. When you talk about Chigezi, you could clearly know that you're not coming just to watch rugby in Chigezi. Actually, the whole theme is rugby in the mist. Before it reaches 11, you can barely see someone who's 5 meters away from you.
Aziz,
And that is something you need to
so
experience.
interesting, and we'll come to that because you also realize the tagline of this whole is rugby in the mist.
Exactly.
So trust me, by game one of day one, it will be such an experience. You just have to be around. But I'll come to you, Caesar.
Yeah.
How do you feel seeing rugby now being developed in your home district?
Mesmerized, to be honest.
Yeah.
Been seated here listening to Jude talk about their planning there, and I'm wondering, and I will ask the question later about funding and sponsorship and support, because the kind of work they started, the kind of dream they had was quite massive, yeah? That, Rams, perennially we used to call Rams our tenants because we always, let's not go
I
there.
remember back
When I was back then when I was
That's-
in
yeah,
Impis.
yeah.
So this is
I
a
was
team,
also in Impis at that time. by the way.
yeah,
Nice,
this
nice.
is
Because
a
we are
team that
still
was
at
sharing
Nuke,
a pitch with Impis and Makere Ground, still does, but here they are spreading rugby, and when I first saw the Chigezi High Altitude Sevens, I didn't really pay close attention. Aziz came to me and told me, Caesar, you need to come to Kabale. By that time, I was still fresh into employment. Money wasn't enough. So I was like, it's not worth it. And then kept on happening. Then the first time I noticed them was when they held a circuit in Kabale. Up to now, my favorite circuit of all.
Oh, Chigezi
2020.
They were
21.
really amazing.
Chigezi
Were
Sevens was
really
such-
amazing. The
I-
camaraderie, the weather, the rugby. It was really nice. So I started paying attention. Then Jude here called you. Jude and I have very many discussions.
Yeah.
Usually the centers around 50 million. But so when he texted me and told me, Caesar, we're doing something, and I know you're from Rwanda, and we're taking, I was like, wait a minute, what? And it was really I was mesmerized. Now hear him telling us and the viewers the whole genesis, and it's really amazing. I'm really happy. I'm happy, and I'm telling you that Kabale, with how we were. Okay, now me, I grew up in Uganda. I got contaminated, but how those people are built and the resilience and the hard work. When the time comes and the fruits start coming out and we get players, you will see what the impact will do. And I'm very, very glad, and I thank you guys for, and Rams Rugby Football Club for this initiative, because it's beautiful, and I hope other clubs can also take up that initiative, not necessarily from where they come from, because Judaism, Chiga or anything, but no, like push rugby further and further.
Beyond,
Like something
true.
that is happening in Ginger.
Yeah.
Ginger has too many rugby teams. You get, and
they're actually going to be having 3 now in the top flight.
Yes, top flight,
including Kakira,
you
which
get,
is less than 5 years, right?
You get.
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful thing.
Less than 5 years old. Yeah.
When we keep pushing and support and support and do all those things, then we'll come to that moment where even Chigezi has some teams playing, players coming on the national side. It will be really amazing, and I'm very glad. Maybe Bruno, what I want to ask, how is the support like? How do you Ugandans and general human beings, we have dreams, but we fear to start them because they are too big. But here you are, Rams. I don't think you have very big sponsors, but you start up and go to an area and start. No, then Lifeguard just came.
Oh, back then when we actually used to call it Mulago Rams.
Mulago Rams.
Yeah.
So, and then you start up that idea, you push. How is the support like? Where did you get this conviction, this confidence to move away and go to an area and introduce a game of rugby?
I think it was a coalition of the willing. It's not that we had the best resources at our disposal, but after sitting together, me, Aziz, Dr. John Babitz Niwagaba, the Rams Excom, we agreed that it was the right thing to do. Yes, we didn't have resources, but we were willing to walk the journey. Because in the end, we were like, fine, if we lose it, at least we would have started something. But we were not ready not to start. So we set foot on ground the first time in 2017. Of course, it was a strange thing to sell, but I'd like to appreciate one of the pioneer supporters, people who believe that it's worth a dream taking up, was the Voice of Chigezi manager, Mr. Andrew Agaba, who took it up with Voice of Chigezi. DJ Andrew. Famous known as DJ Andrew. So he took it up with the Voice of Chigezi to try to give us airplay and give the message down there that rugby is coming to Chigezi, and it has arrived. And since then, we engaged the schools. Chigezi High School came on board. Chigezi College came on board.
Senior.
And then Bishop Asiri, Kabale Primary, commonly known as Demo, they came on board. So we started with a few who were willing. And then Bunyonyi Safaris Resort came on board because we found when they had a dream of developing a higher altitude sports center.
Yeah.
And that brings me to the question now. I mean, we are talking about all this, how it began and all, but I want the viewer now to feel what they should expect in this Gorilla Sevens, because as far as I know, it's, I mean, you might have attended the previous edition of the Altitude Sevens, but I want us now to dive into the experience and what they should expect at this edition of the, first of all, where will it be held?
To start with, we are going to be commissioning a new rugby stadium in Kabale.
How does that feel, guys?
Yes.
So
that is something. That is something.
It's so unbelievable.
Yes.
Like,
so for all these years of development, is that it has been growth and progress day by day. So the 6th edition brings us to commission a rugby stadium in Kabale at Bunyonyi Safaris High Altitude Sports Center.
Wow.
Yes.
So let me understand this.
Yes.
So there is now a rugby stadium on the shores of Lake Bunyonyi.
Yes.
On which altitude again? To be
2000.
2000.
Yes.
2001, 3 be specific.
And this will be the home of rugby in Chigezi.
This is home to the Chigezi Silverbacks and Chigezi Queens.
Yes. And any other rugby club that might come
up.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. You guys just need to understand that, just absorb that, and you just have to be in for this. And when will this be happening?
The event starts on 4th. 4th is the legacy program, where we bring the young children in community, the primary schools, secondary schools, and the age grade centers to play. So the fourth is the legacy for schools and age grade centers. By the way, in this event, we have visiting teams from Kabale, Sadaguru School, and Fort Potro, Little Angels, which will join schools from Kabale, Ruchiga, Rubanda in this event. And then on 5th, we move to Bunyonyi. 5th, we move to Bunyonyi for the new stadium.
Is the Kasiki.
For the senior
The fourth,
event.
where will the games be?
They'll be at Chigezi High lower playground
Lower
in
stadium.
town.
The reason why we are doing this is to involve the schools to have that bit of ownership when they host, because this is their age grade tournament. So how about if they host it themselves? That's what we are looking at.
That's so interesting.
And these are schools which have produced players over the years. Like I told you, we have a player calling in Saba in Rams who started at Chigezi High School in 2018. And now he's a senior player in Rams.
Yes.
That's very young.
Yeah, and I think of recent, we have another player coming up. Isaac Agaba is a player of Silverback. Currently is in Kampala, training with Rams from Chigezi College Butobere and Makobole High School in Rukunjiri. And over the weekend, he featured for Chigezi Silverbacks at the Genocide Memorial Rugby International Sevens in Kigali.
But don't make him sign 50 million contracts.
We'll come to that. But Jude,
The journey is worth it.
yeah.
You asked the question about what should people expect. I would want to actually dive straight into that. Fully fledged fan action event in one area. I don't know how many of you have been to Nyege, but I don't want to rate it that way. But it's more of a village.
Yeah.
When you go to Bunyonyi,
Bunyonyi is actually a life away from Kabale.
Exactly. People confuse Kabale and Bunyonyi.
Yeah.
Much as
me.
the distance is short, but now the experience is way different.
There are different mini bars in there, different hotels, different villages. It's going to be like more of a bigger fun park. You understand?
Are we having activities on the lake?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
We're going to be having a boat cruise. Yeah, like we did last season, we had a boat cruise for the winners.
Yeah.
This time round, we want to have it for the fans, so that they can go to visit things like the punishment island, do some bird watching.
Tour around all the islands.
Yes.
Because Bunyonyi has over 20 islands.
Exactly. There are more than 20 actually.
27 islands?
Yes, there are more than 20. So we want the person who comes to Bunyonyi to actually not confuse it with people who visited Kabale in 2021. Actually, I was talking to Eddie Chiwanuka. People wanted to actually go visit, but the alcohol they had drunk on Saturday would not allow them wake up on Sunday. So that's how they missed out the trip. And transport companies are strict. So this guy was telling them, you guys were supposed to do all that in the morning, visit the Kabale Museum and all that, but you have missed it out. You're waking up at 2 and we are setting off at 4. That's how they missed out. So this time round, we want people to really enjoy, and they have to be in Bunyonyi. We want to make sure everything that you need is in Bunyonyi. And then also something I will not forget, we were in Rwanda over the weekend.
And invited the... okay.
This is what I wanted to ask, because we are talking about now Rams as a club. Now having that Chigezi High Altitude Sevens brand under it, and maybe people might think, oh, Rams maybe is best at the graveyard in Makere. Then the Mulago Rams, then they participate in other circuits, then host Chigezi High Altitude, but they don't know you actually have partnership in Rwanda, and you were there last weekend. I called you when you had just come from Rwanda.
Yes.
And it wasn't the first time. Can you tell us about that, what it is?
I think since 2017, we've been participating in the Genocide Memorial International Rugby Sevens, which happens every year in Kigali. Yeah, so this sees the growth of rugby beyond the borders of Uganda in this region, because we have a bigger dream to see that in the future we can have rugby competitions that future cross-border teams, like the way you see in Europe or in the southern hemisphere, where you have a competition that features clubs from more than 3 countries.
Yes.
And we saw the idea to Rwanda, they welcomed it, and now we have Burundi on board. We have Congo, we have South Sudan coming on board. So this brings to see that we bring the region, grow masses, and we have a different view of how we look at the game of rugby. I always tell people in my era, rugby was a weekend sport. It was the weekend sport. We played for
Saturday's
chilling.
rugby day.
Yeah, but it's not the
And
same
beer.
dream
Play
I
for
can
beer.
sell to the young child today. Yeah, because sports has evolved. Sport is an economy, and if we are to make it serious, we have to cross borders and bring everything that can be able to attract the numbers and make it a big economy.
Caesar, how does it sound to you that we actually have rugby administrators, club administrators, working in silence, making big moves? How does it sound to you, having been an admin somewhere? I want to go somewhere, and I want to go that side. And what do you think that means for some quote unquote top big clubs here? Yeah.
Me, I think what Rams has showed us, and quote me if you want, what Rams has showed us is we need to stop whining. Union is not doing enough to do this. Union is not doing enough. They should do enough. Yeah, they should do enough. And for such a project, I hope, I don't know, maybe the nitty-gritties, but I hope they render some kind of support. Might not be logistical, but connections, the letters you need to write to get permission from these countries. I'm sure they do something one way or another. I don't know. But we need to move away from this idea that everything to develop the sport will be done by the union. That union is not doing enough. This scapegoating, we are rugby people who love to sit in our homes and blame the guys who are running the sport, that they're not doing enough. Honestly, honest to God, I think even Rams itself, I'm not going to say they sell themselves short, because what you're saying here is nothing short of amazing.
You are organizing something that is attracting clubs
from everywhere,
from the region.
Yeah. And it's amazing. It's amazing the amount of connections you have, the amount. What's to stop Jude from getting, say, a player from Rams a gig coaching in Rwanda, or even a scholarship, because of the partnerships that they are getting, and it's amazing. So for me, my shout out is to my learning experience here is, first of all, thank you guys. This working in silence has tricked my mind in a way, in so many ways, even outside rugby. The working in silence and just deciding that this is the line we want to take, and you take the line without fear, without looking for, as in, it's just amazing. And this is a shout out to everyone else, guys. Stop whining over union is not doing this, we don't have money. I don't think Rams has
do your part and dream big.
Yeah, do your part, dream big, do your part. Let the people who want to support you meet you halfway. If Rams walked to, say, Now Special and told them this is the plan we are doing, it's in Kabale, but we also are in Rwanda, Now Special wants to break in Rwanda, will it find it easier to sponsor Cobs or to sponsor Rams? You get, let the people who need me, anyway, me, I'm amazed, Bruno. It's just
Cesar,
unbelievable.
on the side of the union, to set the record straight, union has supported rugby development in Kigezi since its inception. Every year, union takes care of the trainings, technical, match officials, medical, and also has extended trainings
for all the
to
editions
region.
you've been.
Yeah,
you've
for
been
all the editions we've been. So, and also has extended the contacts. Like you said. Every time what we do, we take a move and tell them this is where we're heading to.
This is what we have.
Yeah, this is what.
And this is what we want.
They've been supportive at every stage, and we applaud them for that. And not only us, even other individuals, other regional clubs.
Yes.
Ambala Titans, they stood with us in the first edition, where no one believed that a rugby tournament can take place in Chigezi.
True.
Ambala Titans rose up with the RDO team Iraka, and they made that big support.
And I think what Caesar is saying is, as a club or as the administration of a club, what strides are you making, or what dreams are you making?
Yes.
And where do you need the union to step in, and how can you step in? And I'll come to you, Aziz, now, and I'll take a question about now the bigger picture of this whole development program, the Chigezi High Altitude Sevens brand. Where do you want to see it in 5 years? I mean, maybe you had dreams. Now, you guys just, because all along I expected this to be at maybe Chigezi High School Stadium lower.
Get you. I
They're
get you.
down
I
in
get
Kabale
you. I
Township,
get
or
you.
even
You
the
see-
Kabale Municipality Stadium. But now that you guys are telling me you've had 6 editions,
Yep.
and now you have a stadium, a
Yes.
pitch, a rugby pitch,
Fully fledged.
on the shores
Well
of
measured.
Lake Bunyonyi, well measured,
And you know what it means, because
on a high altitude.
me being a match commissioner, I
You-
wouldn't want a
you know all the
subsidized.
details,
Yeah,
yeah.
I wouldn't want a substandard pitch.
Yeah.
I.e.
Because-
graveyard.
No, Graveyard is actually standard pitch.
No,
Graveyard is my second. Okay,
Bisawe byange.
I want to rank my favorite pitches, but
Surely,
but
don't
what is the
mention
big-
about
what is the bigger
the
picture?
big-
And you guys have achieved a lot. Thank you, kudos. But now, where are you looking at the brand? Maybe in the next 5 or 10 years, depending on the projections you guys have in your books.
Yeah, first and foremost, like my friend Ramsey normally puts it, rugby is played inside out. You know, you have to have the pitch first, and then the outside.
Everything will come
Yes,
up. Yeah.
yes.
Oh, okay.
So our focus was to have a home, kwanza. Not these things of there's a rugby game, then there's a crusade.
Who are you trying
Chris-
to tell?
No, I'm not. I am not attacking anyone.
Okay.
But I am trying to say, if you want to have a standard tournament, or if you would want to host, you don't want to be pulling ropes with people want to hold a gathering, probably a crusade or anything. A rally.
Faster.
And we are heading into campaigns. You know
Yeah.
what I'm talking about.
I understand. Yeah.
So we had to sell the idea first of all to the landowner, that is Bunyonyi Safaris Resort, and trust me, I would want to actually take this opportunity to thank Charlotte, Madame Charlotte. She's been really someone who has believed in us. She actually bought for us postcards in the first edition. Yes.
And it's a nice place to visit
Those
at the
are
lake
people
as
we
well,
need
yeah.
to know by
So,
now.
so yes, and you see, let me tell you, now that we have a home, we are looking at having this circuit rotation, because we have partners in Moshi.
Tanzania,
Yes, we have partners in Eldoret.
Kenya.
Kenya.
Yes, so we want to be rotational, and we have partners in Rwanda. So how about we have the first circuit in Kabale, the second circuit in Moshi, the third one in Eldoret, and the last one
Chigari.
in Kigali.
Oh, that's a nice dream.
Yes, yes. No, I'm not. It's not a dream. We are having it next year.
Interesting.
Yes, we are having it next year.
Well
It is
done.
already on paper.
So
So
we shall go.
we
Fat cats
we
to
just-
the world.
exactly. So and we have partners on board. Sembeza Africa. Shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Andrew Biekwa. So these are guys who have joined the van. They also believe in rugby development, sports development. Actually, they are trying to use sport as a tool to change youth. You understand? In terms of behavior and all that. And they are trying to spread it throughout the communities. And Chigezi community is part of the beneficiaries. Jude has not told you he trained over 270 something teachers in Ntungamo. Get into rugby. Yes.
Interesting.
Yes. So and we are doing things in a straight way. We go through the sports administrators, the district education officers. So it is a call for the district.
But this is for a fact to the viewers and maybe people who will watch the clips. This is information that people don't know.
Yeah,
Is
like, it's nowhere.
Is it your intention to hold this information?
No.
Or you
work
just
in
want
silence.
to pick it up?
Honestly, there's no intention to hold the information back. But as you know how our media trends move, during times like February, the league is hot. So the rugby product that is focused on is the league. So we end up having other media partners get to book, to note down about these events. And you saw December, January, we were having some events still in Chigezi region, the trainings in communities.
Yeah.
I think we trained over 6 sub-counties in Ruchiga, and then we moved to Ntungamo. But the whole thing is we are using rugby as a tool, like you said, to get whatever is grassroots, patch up with every industry. It's not only just rugby played on pitch. Bring a media person on, bring the education system on, bring the administrators, bring the service and product providers, so that as we grow. So what we believe in is that regardless of attention or attention, we must be producing work. And
True.
this work
over noise.
We have something to show up to. When I
Exactly.
say fat cats, please, this I have something to show you.
Yes.
So this is how we've been progressing. To say that we produce work that is appealing. Like what you asked Aziz, where do you see ourselves next? This is growing to be an international event, which will have teams from all over the world.
Exactly. Now, which brings me to the next question. For this very edition happening from the 4th to 6th, 7th?
To 5th.
2 days. It's a 2-day tournament.
Two-day tournament.
Yeah, two-day, 1-1 each.
Yeah, but guys have to come earlier if they want to enjoy.
Sure.
How many teams have been confirmed so far? What are they, and what are those international teams?
We have 12 men teams and 8 women teams.
Complete circuit.
Yeah, it's a complete circuit.
And what
Actually,
teams
cut
are
off some because
No, you have to.
They delayed to
One of them is
confirm.
Pirates.
What teams are they? Leave Caesar.
I can say, I think I'll mention teams from outside first, because they confirmed the area. From Rwanda, men, we have Lions de Fer, who are the current champions. We have 1,000 Hills.
Current champions of the last edition?
No, in Rwanda.
In Rwanda.
Yeah, in Rwanda. We have 1,000 Hills. And then we have Gisizi RFC.
Gisizi.
Yeah,
It is,
Gisizi,
yes. Yes.
And then in women,
Kamonyi Panthers.
we have Kamonyi Panthers.
From
Rwanda,
Rwanda,
from
yes.
Rwanda, and then Gisizi RFC. Then in Burundi, we have Rukinzo Police Women's Club.
Rukinzo.
Yeah, from Burundi. Then we have the Congo Team Federation, the Congo.
Then the Juba Eagles
Then
from
we have,
Southern
we
Sudan.
have Juba Eagles from Southern Sudan.
Oh, that's a nice team.
Yes.
There's a guy that used to play for Pirates. I've forgotten his name. That plays for Juba Eagles.
Yes,
It's quite an interesting rugby club.
Yeah.
They've played here before.
Yes.
I think.
Yes, at Rujumba
The
7.
Jumba
Some
7.
tall guy,
Seven.
the tall
Featured,
guy.
yes.
Events thing. Anyway, nice.
He's called Dre, I think.
Yes,
Dre.
that is his name. Yes.
He's quite an
He
interesting
has a
guy.
brother also, actually.
That
yes,
plays.
Yes.
He was in the cohort of Isaac Rujumba and the Gongodios, I think. if
Yeah,
I'm
in
not
Sailors.
mistaken.
Most of his time, I think, was Sailors time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's hard to break into the Pirates team.
We also have teams from clubs from around that have confirmed.
Yes,
Sure.
we have the defending champions, Waluku Barbarians, is coming down.
Those are the guys that won
The last
Yes.
edition.
I
yes, they
missed
won.
the previous
Thunderbirds also is
The
coming.
women
The
defending
defending.
champions,
Yes.
Thunderbirds, are on board. And their brothers, Buffaloes, are on board. Yes, of course, Rams. In the Western, we have Mbara Titans. We have Fort Portal Pumas, which is a women team.
And the hosts, of course, Chigezi
Chigezi
Silverbacks.
Silverbacks,
Yes,
That's
yes.
my team, by the way.
Uh-huh.
I'm
Then we also
requesting
have
that I'm the-
we have a Kabale select,
Oh yes, I was
captained
told
by
about that.
Derrick tukwasibwe.
Kwasibwe.
What is this
So-
Kabale select
so
team? I
it-
want to know about
Derrick,
that.
2 feet Derrick.
Now, the Kabale select team is made of people who have played rugby, maybe in the top tier, probably have retired, and then also, but from the Chigezi, like the first accreditation comes through you being a born of Chigezi.
You just include also those ones from Ankunda.
No.
I have very
No.
few boys from Ankunda. I have Kapaps who can still play.
And also,
No,
we
not
have
bad,
the
Nakoli.
emerging current sevens.
They're coming.
Yeah, they're gonna
They're
be
coming
part.
to play.
They are coming
Yes.
for
Straight
Goida
from
Sevens
Mauritius.
now. Yeah,
Exactly.
straight from Mauritius.
Ah,
They'll be with us at the
interesting.
Goida Sevens.
There's
So
something-
we have teams that actually fail to make it because of timing.
Oh yeah.
That is, we had teams from Luxembourg.
Wow.
Yes, trying to fly
So
in
we have
here.
another international festival
So
tournament.
Guys are
yeah,
here.
we had a team from Zambia.
Zambia.
Yes, and then also we had a team from Zimbabwe through, of course, their TM TJ Takunda, and but because of the clash of the Africa, the rock,
Rock, yeah.
he told me he's not gonna make it this year, but probably next year will be good. So probably I believe that next year, because all these Kenyan teams that have not made it this year would want to be, playing in their circuit, probably in Eldoret, because it is nearer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we are hoping to extend this to a 2-day tournament, like day one, still having all those group stages played, and then the quarterfinals can come in on day two.
Are there prizes to win for this tournament? Because when you talk about prizes, heathens will show up. But I got a prize money.
Isn't that an attack directed to
No.
Chadondo?
Okay.
It's a champion. It's a
The
champion
champion
mentality.
team.
Yeah.
They have
It's a
champion
Sure,
mentality.
sure.
They want to win.
There's a
Bagala
lot to win,
Saint.
by the way. There's a lot to win.
Mm.
To start with, the fans that will travel for Goida Sevens Kabale, you stand a chance to win Rugby Africa Cup tickets.
Ooh,
Yes.
nice.
Yeah, so that you don't have to
And
complain
many
about
people have
what
been
fee, what
complaining
Ah,
fee,
take
what
it,
fee.
ah, take it, 20.
That's
Now you have
okay.
it.
They are
Please spend
free
your
tickets
30K
here.
and you get
Yeah.
refunded.
Yeah, so please come to Kabale, Goida Sevens, and you stand a chance to win the Rugby Africa
Yes,
Cup
the raffle draw.
tickets. There will be draws there. And then, of course, the winners
Boat
from-
cruise.
for men and women. Like last time, it's a standard. The winner gets a boat cruise over Bunyonyi Safaris. There will be a prize money that will be mentioned. Yeah.
And you guys are looking good in this t-shirt. I, of course, as usual, I failed to get my size.
coming.
When you talk about this, they feel
Oh,
really
this-
nice.
it's
They
nice
feel
match.
really
Nice
nice. The
match.
material is good.
Yeah.
Talk about these ones.
And who can they contact for
And
match?
who can for merchandise, because
It's good to also attend
The,
in
the,
the
the, the, the,
tournament
t-shirts
match.
are actually already out there. The sports shops, Chadondo is already selling
Okay.
these t-shirts, and we have also some of the people trying to have them available in the former, should I call it former legends?
hey,
or-
excuse me.
I'm
Guys,
Kampala, just call it
just call
Kampala.
Kampala.
Okay, Kampala. yes. And then also for those who want to special delivery, there's a gentleman called Pearson Makoma who is on ground trying to make sure everyone
Will
gets
he
their
smile? That
size.
You have
Then
this number.
like
Can you
smiling.
can you
When
can
he's
you
doing
read
your
out
match
his number
commissar.
maybe?
You'll get his size, your size probably.
I think I have his
Pearson
number.
then like smiling when he's working for rugby. He thinks he can
Okay,
be.
so
He's a small
this is
man
the
but wants
number.
to beat us.
Pearson Makoma,
Pearson, you can reach him on 773 064 296. I'll repeat the number 773 064 296 to get this beautiful match. And just
different
also,
colors by the way. It's not only white.
They are in different
Okay.
colors,
Red,
and also we are
green.
making special editions for institutions, teams, where you want a Goida Sevens t-shirt
Plus your
with
logo.
your logo embroidered on.
you
Cops.
can customize.
Yeah, you can customize them.
Ah,
That order is
interesting.
also available. He can pick them.
Interesting.
I'll
And just
put
a
cops
reminder-
when my team decides
and-
to play.
And just a reminder that we are at the Gardens, Nigeria, home of good vibes, good environment. This weekend in particular, we will be having the East African Meat Carnival with a good lineup of DJs. And for the special edition, we'll be remembering the recently deceased DJ Bush Baby, who was a pioneer of the East African music and also a regular performer at the East African Meat Carnival. So come through, quite a number of DJs lined up for you, and also good meat prepared the East African way, and good music tailored for you. And then Jude, I come back to you about the famous 50 million player. First,
Not
is
player,
it true?
players. It's
Players.
I think it is one. It is not one, my
I
friend.
actually thought it was one.
No,
I
no,
won't
no.
mention names.
Okay.
Please don't mention names. But what is it, and is it true?
It's very true.
Okay.
And this is where we come from.
Okay.
Like I told you that I come from a generation where we played rugby for weekend.
For
No
beer.
investment, would just go play, have vibes. And now we are looking at producing world-class players where these players are invested in both in preparation, in game, in training, and they understand actually it was not forced onto them. Yeah, it was an option. Not everyone at Rams has that contract.
Yeah.
There's a special group of players. If you feel you need to develop for international standard, you sign that contract, which comes with a development and what it entails. That's why you'll see Rams in a year. I think we move the most places. We'll play like 5 circuits before the national circuit.
Yeah.
And I think we have the highest turn-up rate in terms of player development.
Yeah.
So, and really when I know the first time we mentioned it came as a shocker to teams,
But now we know.
over time I think teams are starting to see
You'll accept
what
actually
it means
with time.
to invest in a player specifically for high performance, and that's where we are. That the players who are onto high performance program are worth it.
Was this out of frustration? Because quite a number of times we've seen
Some few clubs, especially
I
one,
don't know, some
That-
few clubs.
takes your
I
players
don't
for free.
I don't like the description of small players, or rather small clubs, but some clubs, the fans of some clubs saying these big clubs are stealing our players. Was it also out of that frustration, or it's just a standard thing that we have to do this, we have to develop this and all?
Actually, it's not. It was not just frustration. That's why I told you not every player at club at Rams has that
Contract. Yeah.
Now we looked at how do we take the next step, because if you're to see the
It can't all be
average,
for vibes.
yeah, the average lifespan
Of a
of a
player.
rugby player in Uganda, most will give you much time when they're at campus. After campus,
It becomes
our
hard.
retirement age is
capitalism,
still
yeah.
below 30 years.
Yes.
We lose very many good players to employment.
Yes.
Others we
And
lose
Caesar knows
them
these things.
not
We
just
had
to employment,
likes
but
of Kasozi and
to
Hustle, yeah.
yes.
to society frustration. I've been the best of Naguru, of Chikumi. I've been a star. They sing my name here, but now I'm growing. I'm getting a family. I have needs, but I can't get what it
Playing
takes to
time.
meet my real life. And a player starts to get frustrated, gets into depression, alcohol and drugs, and we see players go down the drain. So we're intentionally like, okay, fine, let's try to flip this thing. How can we have our players train and develop for a high performance professional pathway? Of course, we made contacts, we looked details into if we have contacts. If I'm to bring a player for trials, what would you look at? And we realized in that same, actually, we got emails asking for players, but that year, to be honest, we didn't have players who would qualify. So but I'll need 3 years to put a player at this level.
yeah.
And then we openly ask players. Yes, we were like, fine, we've been playing with no contract. By the way, when players would leave Rams, clubs pay. They pay development fee. But a player walks away with nothing to the new club. So I told guys, no, here is an option. Don't walk away with nothing. let's design a program that is this value, and you'll walk away with 50% if you make it to this value. And it has a timeline. 5 years, if you don't get here, you're free to think whether to stay
What next year?
or to try something
It's an
different.
open
So it is
arrangement.
a program that we took up fully as a club to develop our Ugandan players
Caesar,
for international
what is your
level.
take on that? You declared it yourself. I'm not saying it.
Yeah.
You were
So-
a victim of that.
Yeah,
of
so
that.
so
wouldn't want-
before Caesar, so if there's any Ugandan player there who wish to play rugby to world stage, Rams is your right place to
Oh
be.
wow.
Come, we have the perfect
Nah,
development
honestly,
program for you. Thank you.
And what?
You've seen the likes of Emong. You've
Yeah.
seen, we've been grooming players.
And those were
they-
half baked.
yes,
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, George.
They left.
No,
No,
actually,
they left
Rams-
before their
Rams-
time.
Rams
No, the
produced
truth
many
is,
players.
the truth is,
Desire Era
yes.
played for Rams as well,
Yes.
right?
Josiah
In the
Sempeke.
academy, in the academy.
Eh,
Those
when
those
they were at Marcos.
yeah, those passed through the academy.
What's your take? You've been a victim of this 50
Yes, I have. I have. There's certain player. I don't want like you bad us from mentioning names, so I'll keep
Just
it
not
like that.
mention names, yeah.
There was a certain player I wanted from Rams, and because I have a relationship with Jude, so I called Jude, and I had a discussion with Jude. And there are some discussions you have when you're laughing. There's some discussions you have when you know in the voice of the man is serious. So I took up the idea, and I even
decided
went
to
and
dial.
added methods. I went and told the player to, ask for a transfer because you're at an international stage. You can't be playing I call it under rugby. You can't be playing under rugby. And the guy said, no, you want to do this? Talk to my club. And when after discussing, I understood eventually. I understood. That's why you can ask Jude. I didn't push so much when I had the discussion with him. I understood where he was coming from. I am a poor man. I couldn't afford the money he wanted. So I said, better luck next time. I called him last time. I said, now 1 year has gone, now I'm 40. Anyway, the thing is this. What's my take on here? Whatever it is we think clubs, administrations are doing, it's nothing. Because this is the club that seems to know what they are doing. You will never
Very
hear
intentional.
them. You will never hear them in election violence. You will never hear them. You will never hear them anywhere.
When
Anyway,
you call them tenants, they actually take it in
take
good
it
faith.
in as tenants,
Yeah.
but
We accept
clearly
our fate.
between Rams and no names. Okay, fine. My point is this: it might not be the perfect model of management, but you can clearly see a
There are
club that is
strides.
being well run,
And very intentional.
very intentional about certain things, professionalizing a player. He told me that, Caesar, that 50 million goes into player development. There's a lot we do. That's why I stopped. Now, from what he has just said here, a plan, giving a player a chance. Do you want to get into this high
Oh, you
intensity
don't
training?
want, yeah.
Because, to be honest, I want to mention names because it will make sense.
Just mention
To be
names, it's
honest,
all,
Bran Wandera, no one knew Bran. I can guarantee you, because I don't watch very many Rams games, I didn't know Bran.
He never played for any school, you know.
You know, it came,
Yeah.
it came from nowhere.
He's a
It
community
came
boy.
from nowhere and
The community
boom.
boy actually got him from boxing.
Yeah, he came from nowhere
Oh,
and boom.
yes.
He's playing on the national team.
He
Played
has
last
he has
year,
tests on his name.
did well, and
He started
the recent-
against the Bulls.
the Bulls. These
South
recent
Africa,
games,
yeah.
the man played well.
Popo.
You get, and we see the promise. So, whatever it is that Rams is doing, keep doing, and whatever it is you need to do to protect yourself and your system and your investments, please, by all means, because that's what management is all about.
Okay, and also just a reminder that we are partners at the Local Key Restaurant in downtown at the Royal Complex. A very fantastic place to have a meal, to have a date, and also, to have a view of downtown Kampala as you enjoy your meal and drinks. Very good signature cocktails made for you, and look out for the next event coming up, the Cocktails with Amanya. Such a fun event, and also a reminder that they also have a business lounge. So if you have a meeting or you have a seminar or you have maybe you want a round table meeting to have,
To discuss the 50 million.
there is a business lounge at Lock and Key Restaurant in downtown Nakasero, ready for you. Everything in pens, books, projectors, everything you would want for a meeting. Very good ambience overlooking Kampala. And yeah, come through. When you go, just tell them a fat cat referred you and you'll get a discount. I'll come back to you, Aziz. There is a viewer and maybe someone else. Oh, by the way, before Aziz answers, I know over 10 guys who became Pirates fans in the COVID edition, the last Chigezi 7 circuit.
The 2021 one?
Yes.
Yeah, 2021. Let me tell you how they became fans.
So you mean if we had won, they would have become Cubs fans?
No.
He's telling you.
I'm telling you how they became fans of Pirates and rugby.
Yeah.
So us guys who are organizing to go, of course we are from Kabale, so we tell guys, man, you guys are from this other region, you guys have never been to Kabale, or maybe you're from Kabale and you don't want to go, please join us. Let us go. We organize some transport. We go and tour around. So when they reach, they thought maybe we are going, I mean, it's a road trip, which is fun, then also tour around Kabale. But now the fun that was at Kabale Municipal Stadium, they got hooked. I won't mention names. They are currently one of the noisiest guys.
Yeah, I know.
I know some, but it's okay.
So before Aziz tells us about the transport and how you can join into Kabale and maybe the transport and maybe if there are any arrangements to have guys go, please come and invite your friends. Invite your friends who are rugby fans. Invite those new ones who have never been apart. Come through. I mean, it feels good when someone asks you what is a knock-on.
I was at Bachiga Nation, and I want to make a humble appeal to all the Bachiga who live in the Kampala metropolitan, Wakiso.
Rugby's in your land.
You guys are lost for now. You should come back home. Come vibe in your region with the sport that you love the most, because you've enjoyed rugby at KPA, you've enjoyed rugby at Chadondo. How about you come and enjoy it down in Kabale? That weather where you drink waraji and you still stay sober. So it's up to you. I'm just inviting you to come.
How can one go if they're interested?
Yeah, we will share this with Jude. We have segments, of course. We have someone who doesn't want to spend more than 100K on transport.
Budget.
We call it cost effective.
Pocket friendly.
Pocket friendly. We have an arrangement of to and from Kabale at 50K.
Wow.
That is the first segment. The second segment
The fun
is
experience.
the fun experience of 150K. Travel comfortably with your beer, very many stopovers, nyama choma and all that. No, make a lot of noise. Of course, a lot of music on the bus. I'm not saying the one of 50K doesn't have, but of course it is different. Then we have the night travelers. Yes, we have particular drones that you want to reach Kabale when it is morning.
Yeah.
You do not want to feel the journey at all whatsoever cost 100K. So literally we have all those particular arrangements for you, our fans.
Yeah.
So when you reach there, then we shall talk about things to do with accommodation. If you want to stay by the lake, if you want a room that faces the lake, if you want to stay in a tent, people have never slept in tents actually.
No.
The
Camping
tent
is actually
experience.
nice.
Exactly.
Camping
Now
is
there's a
nice.
camping site at Bunyonyi.
Yes.
Now,
There is.
on top of that, there is also a dormitory arrangement, but I wouldn't advise this. This is particularly for people who are coming in groups,
Okay.
maybe teams.
Yeah.
You have a team that you would want to sleep in one place, and they are ready
And
for
camp.
the game.
Yeah.
Yes, at 25k.
Patent, yes.
But
So-
yeah. It's also an
On
experience.
booking.
It's,
Does it take up with a
I mean,
mattress?
Yes.
How can guys reach out to you?
You guys,
I mean,
Yeah.
on social media there is
Gorilla
it's
7s.
Gorilla 7's trending.
Yeah, but we have contacts for transport. They can reach out to Cynthia. For bookings, for accommodation, they can reach out to me.
Do you have those numbers?
Yeah.
Can you imagine I'm getting
okay, the first number is 075.
for
That's mine.
accommodation?
Yes, accommodation. I'm working with Jude.
Okay.
0752 933 132. I'll say that again. 0752 933 132.
You can contact Aziz on that number to get your accommodation and transport means. And it's quite an experience, guys. I implore you guys to go on and make sure bring your friends, share that artwork, share with your friends, bring them. It's an experience. It's rugby, it's tourism. You guys, by the way, let me give you a fact. I'm born in Kabale and raised, but there is no single time I've ever been there and I'm like, I don't feel like going to Kabale. And there is no, my home is actually the other side of Kabale, like at the border.
Hey,
Rwanda.
Katuna.
Katuna, but there is no single time I've ever gone to Kabale and I don't go to Bunyonyi. Even if it's for 10 minutes. It's like I'm visiting my ancestors.
There's that photo these guys take on Boxing Day. That photo haunts me. Because me, I don't stay in town.
Yeah.
I stay at distance in Rwanda. So there's that photo these guys take. The Kabale crew of Kampala, they take on Boxing Day. That photo hurts me every time I see it because
it's a culture, man. It's a culture. We have to go, and it's an experience. I'll be having a boat myself. I've booked a boat.
Yes.
Where I'll have like 7 guys, and I'm not interested in guys that have done it before.
Want freshers?
I won't take you, Danny, but I want to take
what do
people.
you mean? We have money. We have money. We're educated.
Boats are many. You can rent yours as well.
Yes.
I'm taking freshers, guys who have never gone to Bunyonyi, experience the islands. I'm paying for that.
I have not.
Wow.
Okay, that's a lie.
I'm
That's
paying
a
for
nice
that.
one.
Yeah. And your
Jude's-
closing remarks, Jude, as
We're still sharing contacts of transport. There was one of Cynthia and the one of Jude.
Okay, you can share your contact for transport.
0704 63 4131.
You can repeat it again.
0704 63 4131.
Okay, and your closing remarks as well.
I'd like to thank Fat Cats for hosting us and giving us the platform to share with the world and Uganda on what we're doing down there in Kabale and the whole Chigezi region. As Rams, as Chigezi Silverbacks and Chigezi Queens, we invite you all come to Kabale, enjoy rugby. It's going to be a fun-filled experience of rugby, music, food. There's silent disco, there's boat cruises, there are
Silent disco on the
excursions.
lake.
Yes.
Everything is there. So
You're not leaving that place. You didn't hear me well.
so
Silent disco. Let me tell you, we are
so
closing.
just
closing
come
remarks.
and
Silent
enjoy.
disco
Come and
Bunyonyi
enjoy.
is such
We hope
a
to
concept.
see there, and we shall be glad to host you.
When Bruno starts talking about Kabale,
I never stop.
thank you
No.
very much.
I'm just an ambassador. You
My
closing
closing
remarks,
remarks. First and foremost, this is to thank you for all the work that you've done for the sport and for the region, for where we come from. I'm hoping and praying that I'm going to jump onto your bandwagon. Me, I like your work, and I'm going to support as much as I can in my humble self.
Thank you.
This is a shout out to two. I have two shout outs, Bruno. First and foremost, fourth and fifth, guys. There's nothing to do in Kampala. The following week is when everything starts happening. So let's have a precursor of Rugby Africa.
Oh yeah,
Let's come.
This
Let's
is a
come.
precursor to
Yeah.
Nambole.
Let's come. Let's go to Kabale. Let's touch down. Let's enjoy ourselves. Let's get some. For those that take spirits, get warmth in the coldness using your mouth. Oh, that sounds okay. Yeah. Let's come and support the project. It's something beautiful. If ever I had any doubt on whether I was going or not going, consider this confirmation, Bruno. 'Cause I'm going with my fellow fat cat.
Yeah.
Let's come down. Let's enjoy ourselves. Secondly, a shout out to our rugby union. I mean, these guys have done it on their own with your support, as we've had. There's no harm in christening the new rugby grounds by giving them a rugby circuit, a 2-day circuit.
Fantastic.
It will be fantastic. People will see that maybe that have been caught up in this rock business, and some teams have not been preparing to come, so they weren't able to come for this event. These guys are ready. They showed me they are going to throw a party for us on their own with the support of the sponsor, Nile Special, and the union. Let's get them a circuit. This is my second shout out. Thank you very much, Bruno. And thank you guys for the work you've done.
The closing remarks, Aziz.
I want to take this opportunity to thank Fat Cats. I think by virtue of my side, I'm also a fat cat by default. But of course, I would want also to thank Uganda Rugby Union for having this event programmed on their calendar. I'd want, yes, because it's part of the calendar. And I would also want to thank our partners, Bunyonyi Safaris, mentioned but a few, VOK, all these media partners that have thrown in shout outs, NBS, you know, they've tried to give us a few shout outs here and there, and make sure the event becomes a success. So at this particular point in time, I would want to take this opportunity to invite all of you who would want to get a starter for RAC, because I know it is going to be hard to party on a Tuesday. You may just come and watch the game, but when you still have hangover of Kabale. So please come, enjoy as much as you can. We're going to have silent disco, as you heard. Going to be basically the whole party is going to be in Kabale in Bunyonyi Safari Resort. The rest is going to be extras, but everything is going to be there. It's going to be a one-stop center for everything, and come very well prepared. There are even mobile money points. There are even areas where you can swap your cards. So please do not have excuses of even going back to Kabale town.
You are in a world destination.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Bro, before you finish, these nice things that we are using, bro.
Black.
What are
They are
they?
black.
I'm here. These ones are wireless. These chaps are like proper.
I
grew up in Uganda.
These are-
Wireless.
I think you requested for that one in particular because I should have gone for that one also.
Shout out to Black. These are our partners as well at Fat Cats and all rugby-related activities. Please reach out to them. They have quite a number of sound gadgets, speakers, headphones, wireless headphones as well, and fitness gadgets. Please reach out to them. You can reach Black Life on all social media platforms, and their websites blacklife.ug. Be sure to support them. And thank you for viewing. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming through.
Welcome.
See you all
It's a pleasure to be here.
on the 4th to 5th July, or even before, even after. You can always stay. Welcome to Kabale, very beautiful land, and see you on the shores of Lake Bunyonyi at the unveiling of the newly opening up of the Lake Bunyonyi high altitude rugby pitch, 2,000 meters above sea level.
Exactly.
There's that South African thing that guys talk about. What are those meters above sea level? A fully packed, noisy Loftus.
The Loftus Stadium.
Yeah, it's also on a higher altitude.
Yes.
And there is the French and the New Zealand the All Blacks.
Trust me.
First win a game here.
Here.
And a newly
No,
high altitude.
the truth is, it is hard to win there. Actually, that's why we have different winners every year.
Yeah.
We don't have any
Since
defending some
inception.
champion.
Performing at the Loftus
No one
on
has
altitude.
won back to back.
No
So
one
we-
has ever
we
won
also-
back to
We
back.
also have an altitude stadium in Uganda.
Even
Thank you.
in that one, there's no one who has won it back to back since 2018. So something to think about.
Cheers, guys. See you.